John and Nancy Clark come up, and Marlene and Hill Barrington. Would you guys come up at this time? As they come forward at this time, we please come on up, you guys. This is the Navajo Lutheran School that we want to continue to start getting to know and be supportive of supplies that they might need on the reservations. You guys welcome. Come on up here. And who would like to speak first here? All right, Nancy, you've been chosen. So Nancy and John, they worship with us during the Lenten season on Wednesday nights. And all right, just keep it close to like an ice cream.
Good morning. Good morning. Is that better? Okay. A few months ago, Julie Blossel introduced John and me to Hill and Marlene Barrington. They were interested in learning more about the Navajo Lutheran Mission located at Rock Point, Arizona. Rock Point is in the northeast corner of the state, about an hour from Cortez, Colorado, an hour from Farmington, New Mexico, and about 30 miles north of Chinle, Arizona on Highway 191. Well, I tell you, Marlene's enthusiasm is just infectious, and we are so pleased to be working with you all people. And John and I go to Emmanuel, and we've had the Lutheran Mission as an outreach for several years, and John and I have been involved in it for probably 6 years. The mission was started in the fall of 1953 by 6 people. In 1954 of February, they had their first service and 20 people attended. And in June of 1954, 47 eager little Navajo children attended the First Vacation Bible School. Today, 60 years later, the Navajo Mission has grown to quite a complex. 70 children attend grades K through 6, and they are transported in the morning by bus, and they are taken home by bus. And if you've ever been up in that part of the country, you know the roads. They're bad, and when it rains, they're worse. They also have a house of worship where they hold weekly worship services. And the services are interpreted by a Navajo interpreter. And due to staffing, the clinic now is only open on a very, very temporary basis during the week. Up to this point, about 3 years ago, white people were the administrators. And now the mission is run entirely by Navajos. Leah Begay is the administrator, and she was raised on the reservation. And Clarence Begay, I believe they are niece and uncle, is the principal. Clarence was raised on the reservation, attended the mission school, went away to college, taught, and 3 years ago he came back as the principal, and now the whole staff is Navajo. Their mission statement: the Navajo Evangelical Lutheran Mission exists to connect diverse communities to the needs of the Navajo people by creating a safe environment where the values of education, culture, and spiritual formation are accessible to all people. The Navajo Christian Preparatory Academy seeks to instill in each child the core values of respect, integrity, quality, and improvement. Discovered in the teachings of Jesus, students learn to work for justice and peace and to strive for reconciliation in their community and in the world. And if you go to visit the mission, you will see the challenges that await these people. 50% of the mission, the reservation, is unemployed. And many, many households have no running water or electricity. Don't we take a lot for granted? And the distance that must be traveled for health care. The school itself is an accredited Evangelical Lutheran Education Association private school. The Navajo language is taught, and all Navajo culture are observed in their celebrations. Students receive flu vaccines, they receive dental and eye care on a yearly basis. Due to the lack of running water and electricity in the homes, many students shower at the school. It is so exciting for us that you at Trinity and we at Emmanuel are going to partner together to make lives better for these children. So what can you do to participate in this wonderful outreach mission? School supplies, office supplies, personal hygiene items, and medical supplies are always needed. And I think, Marlene, did you put a list in the bulletin and in the newsletter? So you know what items we're requesting. John and I sponsor 2 children. And during the year, we receive pictures, artwork, and letters from them. The cost is $1,000 per student. As an Arizona resident, you can receive state tax credit and federal income tax deductions. But be sure you check your tax person before you do this. And of course, our prayers are always needed. They depend so much on the weather. They grow minimal crops, sheep, and goats. So we do appreciate the time that you have given us to come and tell you just a little bit more about the mission. John and I travel to Rock Point twice a year to deliver whatever we have collected. And now on October 28th, Marlene Hill, John and I are planning to go up. And Marlene says, well, you know, we've got to stop in Flagstaff on the way up. And I says, we do, why? And she says, well, Marlene's gotten going with American Legion now, and they are collecting also for us. So the Legion, what's he called? The Bobby Reyes up in Flagstaff. Yes, he is a Navajo, has been collecting, so they've got stuff for us. So I'm going to let Marlene tell just a little bit about what she has done with the Legion. If any of you have any questions, just contact one of the 4 of us, and we'd certainly be glad. And thank you ever so much.
I can just, before I pass this on, I can just say that if you choose to get involved and if you can see those little kids, you will never know how wonderful it is and how much you will be rewarded. Just to see these little kids, they come and give you a big hug. They're great, and they're respectful, they're courteous, they're receiving an education which is going to help them to provide for their community in the future and for themselves. And the education is the key to a lot of this. So we hope that everybody can get involved to whatever degree you feel you can. Thank you.
Thank you, John and Nancy. Hill and I are involved with the American Legion in Humboldt, and the Legion has a program that they call Children and Family. And so I presented the Navajo story to them, and it fit perfectly with their program. So the Dewey Humboldt Legion is on board, and they've already donated $500 towards computer desks and chairs. They're putting in fiber optic, and there is a chance that these kids can all have a computer lab. Anyway, we are part of District 8, and there are 7 American Legion posts, and it's being presented on the 16th, 18th of this month to all of the rest of the posts to join us in our project with Emmanuel and Trinity. In the back, along with the collection box, is a story of the mission from 1953 until 2003. They're for you to take home and learn more about our project.
So where do we bring the stuff here?
Bring the stuff here. We're collecting at God's World and in the back, and then we will pack it all up and head north on the 28th.
Let's thank our new mystery, and thank you guys for being with us. John and Nancy, Hill and Marlene, really appreciate it. And so bring your items in the month of October. See that on the list in the bulletin and the newsletter as we can help our local Arizonans at this time. We're going to close now.